would like your partner to be earning? I know some of you are already in a relationship, so some of you might say, oh, he's got to make six figures, this sort of thing. Nala, I don't know if I should even ask the people who are in relationships this, but why don't we start with you then?
I mean, I'm already making a good amount of money. And
doing the OnlyFans?
Yes, I'm doing like investing in stocks, investing in Bitcoins. Yeah, but and like...
You gonna date a guy who works at McDonald's?
Free cheeseburgers.
Yeah. There are like pros and cons. I'm like, I'm not interested in a guy who's really just money fixed and just money focused, because at the end of the day, because I have to. The United States is so expensive, especially for international students.
So shouldn't he also be money fixed?
No. If he has a good like system with his parents and they support him good, since
you
he's
date
like,
a guy who lives with his parents?
No.
When you're 25.
No.
Oh, okay, but he has a good relationship.
Okay, when I'm 25. Okay, different story. He should have a financial plan.
Okay.
For his future.
Yeah.
What's wrong with living with your parents?
Nothing. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
No.
Most girls won't date a guy who lives with
I understand that. But
parents,
sometimes it's like for people who, so my husband got out of the military. He's a disabled vet and went back to go live with his parents to get on his like feet on the ground. And because like, the military treats you like crap after you're out. Like even when you're in, they treat you like crap. So then he got back on his feet and started being like a huge live streamer. And that was so supportive. So it was just like, I don't know. Sometimes it's just to like get your grounds again. Sorry. Go ahead.
It's true.
So do you have just so I can move things along, bare minimum income here?
In a year?
For the guy to make, yeah.
Like $500,000?
What? Wait, hold on. This guy.
What? That's impressive if he can do that.
Oh, I don't care about how much money he makes.
$500,000.
Bare minimum, $500,000.
What is he doing?
Fucking Deutsch in fucking Reichmarks or some shit. What the fuck?
Something illegal.
Oh. Do they still have Deutschmarks or Reich? Did I say Reichmarks? Oh my god! Can't believe I just said that. Deutsch. Yeah, Deutschmarks. They don't. It's euro, so they don't use that anymore.
Okay, that's way too much, right? $500,000 is way too much.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's like
$500,000.
That's a 1%er.
Okay,
what's
at
like
least
the average income?
Yeah.
Anyways, wait. Before I get my feedback on this, I want everybody's.
Okay.
Wait, what's the average income?
Yeah, like what's the average income in like California?
I'm not entirely sure. I think
it's like 83,000.
What's the average income in the United States, though?
No, it's not 83,000.
No.
In California, it's not the average income. No.
Maybe 60K.
I was thinking like 50K, but
California.
How do people live here off 50K?
With lots of roommates.
Really don't. They have massive amounts of subsidies that they have to use. That's the business model for California businesses, is that they pay low underneath a certain threshold so that government subsidies will come in and take care of it. It's corporate welfare.
So what about you? Bare minimum?
Well, personally, I don't care that much about money. Like I could be dating like a literal broke guy, but preferably I would like prefer him to have enough to at least like have like a stable life with me, and I'm willing to contribute to that as well. It's not like he's the only one that needs to be making money, but as long as we're able to pay rent and put food on the table, that's all I really care about.
Okay, maybe if you guys can just give me a number.
Are you just asking people that are not? Or
I guess maybe single's better, I guess. Yeah. So
a number?
Yeah, so I mean, you're young, you're 19, so but like fast forward, you're 25. Your future husband, when he's 25 or 30.
30.
How much do you think he should be making?
I don't know, like a good number. I think honestly, whatever is average would be good enough for me.
Average is fine. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I dated a broke guy. Just
like anything better than that.
So my dad makes more than six figures, and my brother makes more than six figures. So
but you can't date them.
No, I'm gonna
keep it on the fam.
This is what I'm saying. I'm not dating them, but that's my. I want somebody who is more than six figures.
That's the
maybe
standards.
more than $5 million, $10 million. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, sorry.
What?
Oh my goodness.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, $5 million a year?
Yeah. Like $5 million a year is a basic minimum.
Is he a
Wait,
gangbanger?
hold on. Wait. $5 million a year
Yeah.
is the bare minimum.
Yeah.
So $4 million. No.
You don't cut it, bro.
Can you just donate some of that money?
No,
to
I mean, no. I think the bare minimum would be like $1 million.
$5 million a year is your bare minimum. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not derived from money. It's also because I have stocks and stuff, and I have a substantial amount of money too.
Yeah, blue chips. What do you got?
I don't know. My dad's in charge of that one. He started investing when I was a little baby. So, So
Just make him sign a prenup.
Well, you know what's in the account.
No.
You don't know what's in the account?
No, I don't want to look at it.
So it could be
I'll
less
wait
than 10
until-
mil for all you know.
Is it 6 figures, 7 figures? How much is in the account?
I think it's between 6 or 7 figures. That's what I'm thinking right now. So when I tell you my parents came and worked their asses off, they worked their asses off. So
Were there prenups?
If I get married, they have to sign a prenup.
If you get married?
If I get married, they have to sign a prenup. That happened after my sister. Yeah.
Wait, they have to sign a prenup
Like
to
my
protect your resources?
No, so not if I get a boyfriend, if I get married, there's a prenup involved because it's to protect mine.
To protect your assets?
Yeah, my assets.
You mentioned
But
your
you
sister.
want-
I thought you said that these were your parents' assets.
No, because I have my own assets that are
She has, like,
between
her own
6 figures to
account, I
7
guess.
figures right now that I haven't touched.
It's in her name, I think.
Yeah, I have a trust and I
Yeah.
have other things too.
They were given to you by your family.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
if it's in a trust, they're not going to be able to access a trust.
But still,
It's a trust.
it was a conversation that I had with my parents. They said, well, you're 18. If you find a husband, they have to sign a prenup.
So would you be able to work to like maintain that 6-figure standard that you have for the man and apparently yourself as well?
So right now, obviously I'm a recording artist, and you know how that goes. I'm also studying in school, and basically by the time I graduate and finish my master's and stuff and get my business running, I will be making probably 6 and 7 figures a year too.
How do you get to that number?
Basically it's in aesthetics. I want to work in aesthetics, so yeah.
When's that?
Like plastic surgery, Botox, stuff like that.
That's
some
very
money.
6
Hold
figures.
on.
Yeah.
What, you're in school currently?
Yeah.
Studying what again?
Nursing
Nursing.
and healthcare, and I might go and study in med school too.
So you want to become a plastic surgeon?
Yeah, I went to a lot of med school stuff in high school. I wanted to be a doctor, and that's what I wanted to do, plastic surgery. And I went to Newark Medical School, and I took classes in high school. And they told me that I have a gifted hand for surgery when they saw me cut open the pig.
Oh, the cat.
Yeah.
Cadaver.
No, I didn't do the cadaver. We had to do we had to dissect the pig, and they told me to dissect the brain, and I did it perfectly, I guess. So I don't want to like say like, oh my god, but basically, yeah, that's it.
I cut up a frog in high school.
I've done
My
that.
high school
That's not.
biology
cow
teacher
Cow
told me I
No,
have a
cow
future
eye.
Cutting frogs open.
dissecting frogs.
Also, like the point of like financially too, going back to it, I live a certain lifestyle as well. My parents built a certain lifestyle for us, and basically I want to keep that lifestyle, and that's the lifestyle that my daughter's growing up in right now. So I don't want to minimize that for her too, because then that would be a great disservice for her.
What lifestyle is that?
So basically, my daughter can get whatever she wants, and it won't be a problem.
Do you think that's good?
She doesn't get whatever she wants because I have morals, but if she
Just said,
no, like no, I'm contradicting. I mean, like if she wanted something, she could get it, but basically the way how I'm like financially saying, basically how we're I'm taking care of her, as if it's no, it's no, and that's it, because I want to show her how life actually is, because
I'm super confused here, though. Maybe you can help me out. I don't understand how your daughter's lifestyle would change if you married a man who didn't make $5 million a year.
Well, it was a conversation I had. My dad my dad helps
because
me.
You're saying right this second your daughter can have whatever she wants and is already rich. So, and you have the expectation she has this lifestyle. Okay, I don't understand how that changes by marrying a man who doesn't make $5 million a year. What if he makes $37,000 a year? How does that change her lifestyle?
So basically, that's a really great question. So basically, my daughter, she's in a lot of different programs that she can, go to. She can go to some specific daycares if she wants to. And basically, kids are expensive these days. Very, very
I wouldn't
expensive.
know, but I can assume.
Like now these days are very expensive, and so I want her to just appreciate the stuff that we have, because I was in a situation and I can't really talk about.
Yeah, but I still don't really actually understand this. So right this second, your daughter is going to have this amazing life and already does. Right this second, right? Absent any man whatsoever. If a man comes in the picture, how exactly does that change?
I mean, so basically with a man coming in that picture, he has nothing to do with my daughter. It has to do with myself, but it also has to do with the certain values of being a go-getter. Do
you just not want that guy to take what you have basically for granted and just kind of expect you to provide?
When I was
the requirements of prenup, right? So
yeah,
the requirements of prenup.
But I think
she already can provide all of this lifestyle. I actually still don't really understand how a man coming in the picture affects this at all. Even if he made he could be the biggest go-getter in the world and only make $50,000 a year, right?
I mean,
also kids, they're only expensive if you make it so. Okay, so I have 2. She has 5, and I
don't make six figures
50,000
or anywhere near six.
I make 50,000 a year, and my husband makes similar, and we make ends meet. We live a very humble lifestyle, and they're very happy, and they don't know anything other than what they have. So it really depends on how you parent them and the things that you give them. Sure, it's great that you can just gift them things and throw lavish birthday parties, but you can make ends meet. Yeah,
that's well and good, but if you don't mind, I would actually like an answer to my question. If there's a prenuptial agreement, you sign the prenup, you're the man, right? So he can't get any of your estate. Most of your estate's locked behind a trust anyway. Right this second, you're accustomed to a lifestyle which you yourself are providing. How does a man even making entry-level money in any way, shape, or form affect this lifestyle?
I think it has to do with the stuff that I went through in my past. Has a lot to do with what it comes to financially, the things that I went through. I basically lost when I was pregnant, kicked out of my house and lost everything. So that has a lot to do with that. When it comes to being a single mom and stuff, the man obviously has nothing to do with kids, but I feel like this is my thing. I went through dating someone who didn't make nothing, and I went through that situation, and I don't like it. I don't want to be in that situation. So I get the prenuptial agreement, but I also want somebody who's kind of in my financial status range as well. Or it just depends. I know I say I want something, but then if I meet a guy and he's starting out with the business but it's gonna go somewhere, then it's fine. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not being argumentative here. I just have a question. So if you got kicked out of your house and stuff, but you are financially set, how did that happen?
So my parents weren't okay with me getting pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah, they were not happy.
Were they paying for the place and then kicked you out? Or
I was living with them.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I was living with them at the time. I got kicked out because I decided that I wanted to have a kid, and my dad got upset. And then second of all, I decided to stay behind my boyfriend at the time and have him in that kind of environment and raise the kid together. So yeah, I moved back to Passaic, and forgive
me, I don't mean to be pedantic or beat on this dead horse too much, but I still actually feel like I have not gotten an answer to my question. How would it actually change at all if you're this loaded and he signs a prenup coming in and most of your wealth's behind a trust anyway? How in the world would that actually change any of the situation for you or your daughter?
I mean, like, I don't know what else I could say about that. I went through a situation where a guy didn't have the same amount of money. I know how it is. So, I mean, with my daughter, yeah, if I make that money, it's the same thing. But also, it comes from a point that I don't want to be a provider as well. I don't want to be the one, again, paying for rent, doing all these things, paying the bills, paying all this stuff. I went through that. I kind of want it to be that, I have this money and that I can like kind of 50-50 some bills with you, but I don't want to be the sole provider when it comes to home.
50-50 bill. You're a multi-millionaire. You said that
I don't think that's what
a guy making $5 million a year is what you have the expectation of, because that's what makes him on par with you. That is such a stupid, incredible amount of money. Like an incredible amount of money. $5 million a year.
I mean, $5 million don't.
If you have that, why the fuck would he need to split the cost of anything ever? That's like an insane amount of cash. In other words, here, I'll give you an example. Okay. If you give the average man in the United States right now, at 25 years old, $5 million, he'll never have to work again. And his retirement, right, he can spend liberally. And he wouldn't never have to work again. He would have money left over after he died. And you make that a year.
I think right now, because I live in New Jersey, which is one of the more expensive like countries and stuff. New
Jersey's an expensive country?
No, not country, sorry, state. It's more of an expensive state. And so I don't even think with right now how the economy is, it's like $1 million is basically nothing right now. I'm just saying.
What are you talking? $1 million
that's
is
a lot.
An astronomical amount of money
think
for
about
basically anybody.
I'm thinking about taxes. So basically, if you buy a house, it's like the minimum in Jersey for a house right now is $500,000. Then if you have a mortgage, it's like basically like $36,000 to $50,000 a month.
And that's financed over a 30-year fixed rate. So your mortgage per month is around $4,900.
My home in Texas is $360,000, right?
But Texas has amazing house prices.
For sure, But I'm just trying to give you an
Uh-huh.
example so you can kind of understand. I didn't pay $360,000 in cash to get that house. I put down a down payment, and then I'm financing the rest of it through the bank.
Right.
And then there's a percentage of interest that I pay on top of that. And so, and then of course, property taxes
So your
and whatever.
mortgage is like $3,600 a month.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it ends up being
makes sense.
So
that makes sense to me.
Yeah. So it's not so when you're saying that the houses in New Jersey are $500,000 to purchase, it's not like that's how much they're paying up front. They're paying, $4,500 a month. That's what they're paying, which is high, which is very high, but it's not.
Yeah. And then also like grocery prices are very high now too. You can get right now. I went to Costco like 2 weeks ago. I only got 4 things. It was $200.
I don't think normal people shop at Costco.
Well, and also like $1 million is still a lot of money. Like we're in California, but that's still a lot of money. Yes.
I mean, $1 million doesn't go that far in California.
No, it doesn't go that far.
But that's just
Average
California.
house would
$1
in other
million
places, but
here.
still
Like
a lot of money.
Texas, like $1 million in Texas will take you to the moon.
Oh no, yeah, 100%. $1 million in Texas, you're like set because it's just different. I'm talking about like housing market, how it is right now. Rent right now in Jersey is ridiculously high.
Wait, so
This is okay.
Hold
just
on.
For a frame of reference, this is $10,000 times 5. That's what you're actually requesting, right?
Yeah.
damn, bro, why you gotta do the math?
$1,000 bills times 5 per year. Like that is an astronomical number.
Fucking math.
I mean,
Wait, so okay, hold on.
over here, bro.
Okay, so you have just one kid?
yeah.
One kid. And you want the guy needs to make $5 million a year. How old are
Yeah.
you willing to date?
Huh?
Like, what's the age range that you would date?
I think it really doesn't like past 35.
Okay, so we've heard a bit about what you want a guy to bring to the table. So you want a guy who makes $5 million. That's a top. It's more than one. I mean, it's what maybe 0.1%. It's more. It's maybe 0.01%. So you want a 0.01% earner?
0.01.
It's like, yeah. So what are you bringing to the table that, because a guy making that much money, unless he's like retarded, I shouldn't say that. Like he's probably got a bunch of options. Why should he date you?
I think basically I can say that I'm a person that's very much like I help you out, you help me out type of person. I am a very traditional like woman, like when
cooking,
cleaning. I tend to my husband. That's how I was taught. But I also expect that I be tended back. I am also willing at some point, if like the husband wants to have me stay home and take care of the kids, I'm willing to be a stay-at-home mom. I don't have a problem with that. And yeah, I think I bring a lot to the table. I'm a very, very nice person. I'm very, very helpful. And if you have a dream, I will like follow it. If you want to start a business, I've seen it happen where a business goes successful. I will be there. I'm basically that type of person that
What if the business doesn't go successful?
But he has $5 million, so it's already been successful.
Well, what does that mean to be there? Like,
no, he doesn't have $5 million. He has $5 million a year.
A year. We'll get
$5 million a year. That's.
But like, okay, so.
Like be there emotionally, like, you know, be their shoulder to cry on, be there like.
But that's just a wife.
He's got $5 million. He ain't.
That's honestly just like a
also
wife.
like I want to
as being
have
the nurturer, like taking care of your needs, making a home actually feel like a home, taking care of the kids. That's literally just a wife. Like.
And I also want to go into real estate and rent.
But what? Okay. Hold on. The question was, what do you bring to the table? You wanting to go into real estate.
What do you mean by like bringing to the table? Because I can go 10 million different ways. I could go like as a person.
What would make you attractive to a man
who makes $5 million a year?
That man who's a 0.01% income earner.
I think it's
no, it's way less than that.
It might be way less.
But close enough.
Like attractive, like what? Like physically attractive?
It could be, but it could also just be like personality.
I think you have great sex. You popping out athlete babies. Like you make the best chili in the world.
Let me frame it so there's no confusion. Okay, a man who makes $5 million per year, right, and is just moderately attractive. Okay, moderately attractive. He's not the handsomest guy in the world, but he's not the ugliest. Okay. Just moderately attractive. What makes you guys evenly yoked? Why would he pick you?
I think that, I make athletic babies. I was a varsity soccer player, and my family's based in soccer. We're also a family full of engineers too.
Oh, nice.
So basically I'll bring kids when it comes
like high IQ?
High IQ kids.
Have you taken the IQ test?
I haven't taken an IQ test, but
dude, she's in school to be a plastic surgeon, like.
Oh. She got a high IQ.
Yeah.
She got high.
And basically.
Ryan's face.
And then basically, I think just as personality, I think I have a really great personality. I'm very kind and understanding and very based in my Catholic faith as well. And then with sex, I don't like to talk about that. That's a very private conversation. But yeah, I mean, I got pregnant. That's what I can say about that. So
she's fertile.
Yeah.
She's quite fertile.
So the extension of the question is just this. The man who you're looking for has $5 million and is moderately attractive has so many options available to him. It's ridiculous. He has almost more options available to him in women than almost any other type of man on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Right? In fact, like short of possibly being an Olympic, athlete who also is a multimillionaire, this is like the next tier of men who can basically get whatever type of woman they want.
Yeah.
Why exactly do you think he would pick you specifically out of all the women who are available to him? That's what the question is getting.
I think basically, I'm not like, it might seem because I want a $5 million man, it might seem that I'm really like, oh, he has a lot of money, No, I think it has more sense to be in the same type of like way that I'm in right now, if I can since I think, you can have all the women in the world, and some women are some women are just there. You can get a woman that really just wants you for money. You can get an escort. You can get whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? When you have that much cash, I think it's the person. You need a woman that really, at that point, holds you down and is the one that helps you manage everything, I guess, in a sort of
What
sense.
does hold down mean?
Yeah,
I was
that's
thinking
like-
of something
Is that like
I don't want-
hold you down?
crazy.
I
What does
think
that mean?
no.
Let me Google that shit. I don't know. I'm too white to know.
Maybe
what
like
that shit
hold down the fort, like
Hold
no, like,
you
hold the house.
Too
down.
white for that.
Hold you down.
Too white for that.
Meaning, hold on.
Grounds you?
like grounds you.
Meaning-
Yeah,
That can mean a lot of
There you
things.
go.
I
Only
feel
the
like.
white people know, bro.
I thought that was
very
like.
You down to
Hold
take
you down is like-
$19,000 a week?
I thought hold you down
Potential,
was like
yes.
had to do with money. Like if there's a rough spot financially, they'll hold you. I thought that was the meaning.
It can be taken a lot of ways.
I guess it could be a
You know,
couple.
No,
different ways.
yeah, like somebody who like grounds you basically.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like
you know, chains you down. Whatever.
Hold you. Oh.
You're going a different direction. Just like the old ball and chain, you know.
Oh my god.
It's like. Wait, how much money do you make per year?
right now,
Yeah.
I'm a student.
So
Right now,
nothing?
my program is very rigorous. So basically, I work a part-time right now so I can focus on studying.
Wait, a question for you. So, okay, this guy makes $5 million a year,
Yeah,
and you said you won't settle for less, right?
yeah. No, I'll settle for like a million,
Oh,
like a year.
excuse me.
Like
$1 million
I'll-
a year. Wait, is that bare minimum? I thought $5 million was the bare minimum.
No, I said a million.
thought so,
Oh.
too.
Yeah.
I thought
So you
I
want
heard
$5
five
million?
mil. I thought that
I
was
heard.
really- yeah.
Prefer, yes.
Prefer $5 million.
Yes.
Okay.
You'll settle. You'll settle for $1 million.
I might settle for. It just depends. I'm just
settle
For
for $1 million.
$950, you know.
Settle for $1 million.
What about
Jesus.
950?
Okay.
You'll do.
I'll take it.
Wow, you keep.
Keeps lowering
Don't
it.
settle.
I'm not because
Queen.
don't
Don't settle.
I'm not
Do you
like-
have something?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you had like you wanted to.
What's your question?
Oh, so like, okay, you meet a $5 million a year guy, and he's into you, and he's like, what? Would you just stop pursuing a career?
No.
What if he wants you to? He's like, I make $5 million a year. You don't gotta work. Quit that shit.
No, I
Why?
I won't take it. Why? Because my, I have, situations that happen to other people in my family where that has happened. It's been taken. I mean, yeah, I have a trust, but how long will a trust last, with how the economy's going?
I mean, let's say you guys are married for 3 years. He makes $5 million a year. He's made $15 million over the course of the 3 years. That's community property. You're getting half of that. That's $7.5 million. You're set. You're set if you're married to the guy for 3 years.
Dude, yeah, and if he puts it in like a
Yeah.
brokerage account or something that grows compound interest,
You're set.
yeah.
life insurance policy grows
but
compound
I don't
interest,
want to.
IRA.
I also.
No, but he said, so $5 million guy steps to you and is like, we're going to get married. I want you to stay at home. We're going to pump out babies. And you're going to take care of them. And you're going to stop this
Athlete babies.
school shit.
Athlete babies.
Because medical school, very time consuming. You want to become a surgeon. That's super time consuming. Takes years of time, tons of money. He's making $5 million a year. And he says, this is what I want. You going to stop?
No, because I want to have
So you
a
don't,
career.
wait, so even to the $5 million a year guy, you won't be submissive to him?
No.
No, as in you won't be submissive?
Well,
It depends on why she'd need to be submissive. If this is
yeah.
what her dream was, and if he loved her, he would let her pursue her dreams.
That's the thing. If somebody would love me and know, and
I mean, bro, dreams take a back seat when you're dealing with a guy who makes $5 million a year.
I don't really think so.
Touche.
I think like
Sounds
if,
like he's submitting to you.
But what are the so your dreams? You want to be a plastic surgeon to do what? To
Make people beautiful.
Well, hold on. To make. I mean, that's what.
I mean, if we want to
That's
talk
like
about
cutting up bodies.
You want to give BBLs,
like,
bro?
you want to just like slice into people and give them fucking fake titties and shit. Like, that's your
Dexter in
dream.
here.
Like,
No, I mean,
to make money, right?
No, so basically, my parents, when I went to college, were like, okay, they always knew that my dream was music. Like, I always wanted to perform and whatever. Well, he was like, let's be realistic. You can't, and this is probably going to be very like something that's I forget the word.
Controversial.
Controversial, yeah.
Controversial. Okay.
So basically, they're like you to make no money in the U.S. with music as a.
Well, yeah, it's very oversaturated.
Yeah. So basically,
where are you gonna go? Kosovo? Where are you gonna
Thank
go?
you, Beyonce.
Where are you from?
Oh yeah.
Like, where's your family history from?
my dad is Brazilian, and he's from-
Colombia.
my grandma actually used to sing in the radio in Brazil.
Yeah, but I mean, the music scene in Latin America
Yeah.
is completely inundated as well.
And then my mom's from Colombia. So
Wait, there's the singing, the singing.
Bro, his brain is about to explode.
But okay,
lot of
you
math
want to
up
do
there.
plastic surgery. Your
So
husband,
wait, if I
who's
like,
making $5 million
can I
a year.
make you understand why like the plastic surgery? Because I see like your head is turning. So basically, the singing was there until I went to college, and everyone started talking middle school. Oh, what do you want to do
Be a
in
singing
college?
plastic surgeon?
No, whatever. So basically,
videos while you're giving surgery.
no. So basically, when I got to middle school, they're like, okay, we got to think about college. Like, you have to be realistic. What do you want to do? Really good at science. I decided that I wanted to go into medical fields, and then it went from basically being a doctor and going into all these like medical classes to get ready to go to med school, and then I decided to go into nursing, and then now I'm deciding to go back. But because music, it's really hard to get popular.
Can you help me out with something
Yeah.
here, because I'm so confused.
Wait.
So much.
Are we arriving at an answer, or
I literally told you though, so you can understand why I went into like plastic surgery and stuff. Because
I actually,
That's
Wait.
yeah, actually, that's what I want to ask about, because I don't understand. You don't. If I got this right, okay, my notes here. You don't actually ever have to work again. Is that correct?
no, I still have to work.
Why?
I still have to work.
Is it a part of the agreement in
Yeah,
your
but
trust?
why?
I think
Hang
it's
on,
a part of the
hang on,
agreement with.
hang on,
I don't
hang
know
on,
what
let her
what
answer,
is
let
the
her
agreement in my
answer.
trust. All I know is that I have to go and I have to work and make money and start my own business. Or if not,
Why?
I had to go into
Is
the
that
family
your
business.
rules, or because like your parents set that up for you to gain money from the trust rules?
That's no.
They like the people who own the trust set rules and stipulations.
I
up.
don't know what the trust rules or stuff, but when we went, my dad's like, either you're gonna go to college, you're gonna study something, or you're gonna go into the family business. That's it. If I don't,
Okay, well then, how do you live right now?
how do I work? I'm a phlebotomist, so I work on the weekends because I have my daughter and I also have school.
Okay,
And-
so right now you're taking care of your daughter and working, and that is the income that you have.
Yeah.
wait, how much do
Okay, so
phlebotomists
nobody is giving
It's like
you
20
any
I make
additional
22 an hour.
That sounds like a
22
made-up
now.
word. What does that mean?
It's the people that
You know when you go get your blood test in the doctor?
Oh yeah.
It's the person who puts
They
the needle
draw
and
your
take
blood.
draw the
Oh,
blood.
okay.
Wait, I'm just confused. Wait.
But help me out. Just help me out here. I'm getting to the bottom of this. I'm almost done, right, with my inquiry. So you're the one working right now. You're the one supporting your daughter right now, not your parents, correct?
My parents are helping me support my daughter right now financially.
Okay, so they send you X amount of money per month or something like this.
Yes and no.
What does that mean?
So basically, my mom takes care of my daughter while I go to school, and my parents pay for her, like, health care, like health insurance, stuff like that, so I can focus on finishing college.
That's nice.
Okay, so right now your daughter's standard of living is based around a $22 an hour single mother working. Is that correct?
No.
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 Your daughter lives with you, or you both live with your parents?
We both live with my parents.
I see. Okay, so you live with your parents, and you're working, and you make 20. Okay, now I understand. Okay, this story, right, has more holes in it than a Swiss cheese block. I'm just like trying to put it together
Okay.
here so I can figure it out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay,
no,
I have a couple questions
Yeah.
here. You said a trust exists, which
Yeah.
is valued at between 6 and
Which
7
I
figures.
believe. I've never seen it, but that's where I've seen.
And
like,
do you only get access to it after like 25 or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question. If you were able to not work, would you?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, it just, I want to like establish somewhat of a career first. And then if I was given the opportunity, like, hey, you want to be, I know you like took your time, established a career. And you want to be like a stay-at-home mom or like not work, that's fine. Like I don't have a problem with that.
So as of right now, you're staying with your parents, with your daughter to save money because you don't want to spend it?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's why you want a man with $5 million because you don't want to spend the money that you have?
No. I was willing to spend right now. I'm saving the money, and I work and stuff because I want to go to school and have a career so I can make amount of money, because I don't know. Honestly, I know there's a trust. I don't know what the trust rules are and everything. So basically, You don't know what the rules of your own trust are? No, we haven't had that conversation. I know what trust is.
I can talk.
I'm not gonna share. I'm just not good at sugarcoating things. So I want to repeat back to you what I'm hearing so that you understand my perspective. Okay. And granted, this is going to sound mean, but I'm just repeating back what I'm hearing. This is the highlight from this. Overweight single mom who lives with her parents wants man who makes $5 million a year to marry her under a prenuptial agreement that he doesn't have access to the wealth in a trust that she doesn't know the rules of or how much is in it. Does that summarize it?
Yeah, but I get it. I'm overweight.
No, that's not the key and point. What I'm looking at is
that's
the idea versus the reality of the thing.
That's right? Okay. That's what summarizes it. Yeah. If you want to go ahead.
I think what he's just trying to say, it's a bit not realistic. Your expectations are not.
That's
realistic.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why you
$5 million a year.
That's why I said my standards are high. I don't, and I keep saying that I don't know if it's gonna change. Now these are my standards right now. It can change when I meet the right man. God doesn't know what He's gonna put for me. This is what I've been saying. Like I've been saying, well, it can change. This is what my standards are right now. It can change. So that's what I'm.
High standards. That's cool.
Yeah, high standards. I have high standards. I've been through a lot of crap. So like that's where it is.
High standards doesn't have to do with someone making $5 million
I've always
a year,
wanted to ask a woman who said that a question. The question of, you never know who God's going to send for you, right? I agree with that, by the way. But I got to ask you something. If you prayed every single day for this perfect man and you never got him, and then he died and you met God, would you tell God that you were angry with him that He didn't send you that man?
That's a good question.
No.
No. Okay, I didn't think that you would. So why in the world would you think that God would want to send a man to suffer? Right? Why would God send a man with $5 million to suffer? Because you really wanted that man. I always wonder if women ever think about the other end.
What? I'm sorry. Wait. How would she suffer? How would he suffer?
Yeah. What is suffer?
You need to do some explaining.
So this case, right? In this particular case, I just summarized the position she's in, right?
Did I hear that?
If we are to assume for a moment that you think, okay, I'm a prize or I'm the prize or whatever, right? I wonder if women ever internalize this in their prayer of the thing I want. I want thing, I pray for thing. That you might suck, right? And if you did, why would God send a man to suffer for you? That's what I always wonder. I always wonder if they ever think about the other side of the coin.
Did God not send Jesus to suffer for all of us?
Yeah.
Because He died on the cross.
Jesus is God.
Jesus is God's son. Yeah.
No, Jesus is God. You're a Trinitarian. Jesus is God.
Well, I'm not a Trinitarian. I believe in the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, but He's called the Son of God because He's the Son of God.
No, He's called by John, God Himself. He allowed Himself to be prayed to. Jesus Christ is God.
Yeah.
You can pray to Jesus, absolutely, but He is God's Son.
No, He is God. The Trinity.
Then why does the Bible specifically say that God is in heaven on the throne and Jesus is at His right hand? There are two, but they are also one.
No, listen, there is one God.
What Bible are you reading?
But isn't Jesus like the physical embodiment of God?
Yeah. So basically,
trying to answer the question, right?
Right, but what man? What does your question have to do with anything? Like
I'm trying to answer
talking about a
your
man
question.
suffering for her. If God sent her a man, how would He suffer? It should be the right one that God had
saying
for
that
her.
Why don't women ever have the expectation that perhaps God wouldn't want to send them a man because He didn't want that man to suffer because the woman isn't that great? Right.
I think if you reworded the thing, but like
that way.
Am I hearing this right?
I think he should have reworded
I
it.
heard it pretty well.
I think he should have reworded it, to be honest, because
Reworded?
yeah.
Are you saying that?
Like in
Okay,
German or-
okay. If you
like
are
in-
you saying that like if God
She
sent
could
her a man,
translate.
he would suffer? Are you saying that she deserves to be single because
No,
if God
I'm
sent her a
asking-
man,
I'm
he would
asking-
suffer?
I'm not doing any of those things. I'm asking a simple question.
I heard the question.
My purview is this.
Yeah, I heard that.
If you pray for X thing, in this case, another human being has free will. You agree with me, right? They have free will. So the sequence here would be that God would have to influence this human being to put him in your path through some sequence of events. If this is the case, that is true, I often wonder if women who pray for the mighty $5 million man to come in and do whatever it is, why they think it is that God would want to perhaps make this man suffer on behalf of that woman. I wonder if they ever
God
think
doesn't
of it
use people like that. Absolutely not.
I wonder if they ever think of it in alternative terms. I'm not saying God operates that way. I'm asking from the viewpoint of the person who's praying for a man.
Did she ever say that she was praying for a man?
Yes.
You said that you were praying for a man?
No, I never
She never said that.
You never know who God's
Roll
gonna
it
put
back.
in front of you.
I said you never know who God, but I'm not saying I'm directly playing a God. Oh,
I do.
please.
I got to move it on a little bit. I have to do one more question here, and then we got to read a couple chats and stuff. But just really quick, going back to my thing, I said, you meet this $5 million guy, and he said, because you have your pursuits when it comes to your medical school, plastic surgery pursuits, what have you, nursing. He's like, oh, I want kids. I want you to stay at home, take care of the kids.
I think I
Makes $5 million a year.
I think I already answered this question.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, but just clarifying. So you will not listen to him. You won't be submissive to him. You'll be like, no, actually, I want to keep working, even though you make so much fucking money. I don't need to work. Just so I understand it.
Yeah, that was my answer. I think if somebody loved me and knew enough that I wanted to start my career and stuff and establish a career and
But okay, so what is the purpose of your career?
my purpose for my career,
Like, why do people have jobs and careers?
to get money to be successful.
To make money.
To make
but
money.
he has money. And he's like, you don't have to work. I got the money.
Okay, yeah, I say that I want like what's it called, like a $5 million man. I don't mean like, oh yeah, I want to live with his money. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I want to live with his money. Yeah, he has $5 million.
Then why would you want a man who makes that much money so that you can
I think
go...
it comes from hurt. She said it a couple of times.
I've
like she
said
feels
it
like
comes
she's
from her. It comes from
Hurt.
experiences.
Hurt?
She was hurt by
I
her
would
last guy,
feel
left
a
by her
lot
last guy.
if I dated a woman who made $5 million and I could quit this podcast.
You want the sugar
Sign
mommy,
me
y'all?
up. Sign me up. But hold on.
I
Wait,
think-
so there's a lot of healing there. You have a lot of time off.
Yeah.
You can go to the spa.
Massages.
You can go to
Oh,
the
yeah.
spa.
Absolutely.
Private trainer.
Wait.
Private trainer.
A private chef.
Dietitian.
I think those are just her standards based off of where she's at now because
Well,
of her
let's
past.
let's let her talk. So
No, I think you got it right on the spot.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
yeah.
You believe in
Suck
God,
it.
yes?
Yeah.
Do you think God wants you to lead this material life?
I don't think it's materialistic.
good
I feel like
question.
if I had that money, I would donate a lot. I used to donate. Actually, it was called you.
How much would you donate?
Can you donate it to me?
Wait, hold on. How much of the $5 million per year are you donating?
I think I would like to go.
Half.
I think I would like to open up more schools in Colombia that don't have resources. In my grandma's
mission work. Let's
in
go.
my grandma's town, there's a rundown school, and they have to walk like 20 to 50 miles to get to school, or they get to a bus up a mountain. So I'd like to.
How many Colombian schools does $5 million a year get you?
I don't think she said she would give. You said $5 million a year.
No, I said I would donate a lot.
No, I'm just curious. I'm curious.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't
How
know.
much how much? $1 million a year?
I mean, like
$2 million?
I don't know. Like, so basically,
If I'm the husband in this situation, you ain't donating my fucking money to fucking Colombian
Well,
schools,
I feel like
bro.
if-
Colombia can take care of itself.
no, I feel like
It really can't, bro.
So I feel like basically, like talking about God, I want to give back to the community. I also like, yeah, I live this lifestyle and whatever, but I do really like to help out with the community. We did a lot of drives for the pantry growing up. We've done car shows, drives. lives, and we've done things to give back. I've donated money to services and kids in Colombia, and
that's sweet.
Yeah.
But so okay, the guy makes $5 million a year. You're gonna be like, I want to give away $1 million of the $5 million.
Yeah.
You want to give it?
Or yeah.
What if he says no? We're not giving away anything because we need it.
Okay, that's his problem.
You got your own
I got
money,
my own, so.
Okay.
What if he wants to donate your entire paycheck? Like he wants to just live on his paycheck, but he wants to take your paycheck and use it for your philanthropy.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's my philanthropy. Like, if
It's like, look, we're not going to live on your money. Your money is going to all get donated, but my money is going to get lived. We're going to use my money to live on. Yeah. Like my money's going to pay the mortgage, the groceries, the kids, all that stuff. Your money, you can donate it all to charity. Then what?
No. Like,
okay.
No.
Wait. Okay, so hold on. Okay. You're Catholic, right?
Yeah.
In the Catholic faith, aren't you supposed to be like submissive to your husband?
Yeah.
And you're supposed to tithe as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be your 10%
But
tithe.
I did also say that when we were talking about the Catholic faith, that there's a lot of things that I agree with and I follow, but there are things that I'm not like 100% like what? Would follow, like being 100% submissive to the husband. I don't. I think that.
Do you not think it's biblical to be submissive? And in what ways?
Well, like the Catholic faith is not a buffet. It's not like you don't get to picksies and choosies the things that you follow. If you're a Catholic, you're Catholic or you're not Catholic. It's a holistic form of Christianity. All of it or none of it.
So you
that is Catholicism.
Like you want to like peg your boyfriend on like Fridays or something?
What?
I don't know. You said you want like pick and choose, so I feel like
I don't think it's like pick and choose.
Like you want like kind of a submissive.
Well, it is kind of cherry picking.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Okay.
It's okay. I don't no kink shaming here. If you want to do that.
No, I don't talk about this stuff.
Sorry, my bad.
So basically, what was
like you want to like?
No, I just feel like that whole like submissive thing. Also, there's like I don't think it's like taken as like fully submissive. I feel like because when they go submissive and the Catholic people are like, oh yeah, you have to listen to your husband, but you also have to listen to your wife.
Yeah.
Andrew?
Why are you laughing?
Isn't it so? I'll explain.
Andrew's just like this, bro. This is why we have beef.
Yeah.
He has a maniacal laugh.
So silly to me. It's like, look, I don't care if you say that you're a Catholic or you don't say that you're a Catholic. I only care if you say that you're a Catholic and then you say something like, but my version of Catholicism is a faith-based buffet where I can pick what I want and I can take that and then I leave the rest of it and I only like the stuff over here and I leave this stuff over here. That's not Catholicism. That's some other allicism. That's not that allicism, right? Whatever it is, it's not that. It's something besides that thing. And so that's where I get into disputes. It's like if you say I'm a Christian and I believe in, I don't know, whatever other things you believe in, fine, I can accept that. But if you say I'm a Roman Catholic, that has super specific criteria. You're either a Roman Catholic or you're not a Roman Catholic. There's no in between.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
The church would consider anything external.
I have a question for you.
Complete obedience to the church to be heretical and non-Catholic. They would consider that to be non-Catholic.
So if I have a question, right? So you're talking about submissive, like I have to completely like just be like, oh, hey, like, you know, my husband said one thing, I have to be like, yes, 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 yes. So if my husband says like, if my husband says...
Tells you to do something unchristian?
Huh?
Tells you to do something unchristian.
Perhaps?
Yeah, and I have to listen to...
Well, that's about being equally or unequally yoked. Like...
There's also a comportment to reason. So God is the logos, logi. The idea is that the nature of God is logic and reason. That's part of God's nature, is unchanging nature. If somebody asks you to do something which is external to Christian ethics, when you're a Christian, that doesn't comport with reason. They're asking you to do something which is absent reason. And so at that point, the reason you have an ecclesiastical authority in your Catholic church is so that you can go to them and get aid in those situations. That's literally what it's there for, is the knowledge that there could be a component in a relationship where one person makes such a demand, which is a conflict with your faith, and you have an ecclesiastical authority to turn to who can mediate that on your behalf.